Purpose of programming language, right? We have so many programming languages out there. What is the purpose of programming language? First of all, you want to take the help of machine to perform calculations, right? And the other, right? What is the purpose of machine? Faster calculations and data transfer, receiving data, sending data, and calculations, measurements or calculations, whatever it may be. Okay. Automation. In other way, we say that automation, right? So, what is the difference between programming language and natural language? Programming language and natural language. We have the natural language, right? English, Telugu. Okay. On what basis these languages are constructed and what is the purpose of each and every language? We have so many languages also, thousands of languages. Why we need thousands of languages? Why can't we have only one? Or the other side, okay, we have the programming language. We have so many programming languages. Why can't we have only one programming language? Can anyone? Anyone? Yes, sir. The first person. Every language. Okay, why we need so many languages? For example, we have C language, Java, Python, okay, Pascal, COBOL, Fortran, Lisp. So many types of languages are there. Based on the requirement, yes, based on the requirement, right? Based on the requirement, okay. Some languages are okay, for calculation purpose. Some languages are for business purposes. Some languages okay, considered as scientific programming languages, right? Some languages are suitable for artificial intelligence, right? So, what is the difference between these two, programming language and natural language? Is there any comparison? How the language is constructed? What is the basis for language? For example, consider Telugu language is there. What is the basis for Telugu language or any natural language? Letters, sir. First starting point is letters, right? Then words, then sentences, then paragraphs, then stories or other poems, something like that. Okay. So how these are constructed? From words, letters, letters to words, words to sentences, sentences to paragraphs, paragraphs to uh, essays. Based on some rules and regulations. Rules. What is the name of the rule? Grammar. We used to say that. Okay, this grammar. Okay, based on grammar. Okay, all these are constructed. In the same way, the other side, programming language. What is the basis of programming language? The starting point of programming language. Every programming language has the basic components or elements like first point, data types, right? Data types. Then why we need data types? Different data types, so that we can work with data type. Okay. Next point, operators. Okay. We need operators to perform operations. That means whatever the data types we have. Okay. What is the use of you having only data types? Okay, no use. You must perform some operations, right? Okay, that means first of all we have the data types. On the data type we have the operators, so that we can perform some operations, specific operations. For example, arithmetic operations, logical operations, okay, bitwise operations, okay, relational operations, comparison operations, all those things. The next level, again we have when it comes to operator, how to use those operators. A number of operators will be provided by the programming language. And we write an expression, that expression contains a number of operators at the same time. How to evaluate that expression? Based on operator precedence. Operator precedence is there, the first chapter. Okay, every programming language, data types, operators. Next one is the operator precedence. Precedence means importance, sir. And we have the n number of operators. Okay, which operator is to be given the first preference? Which operator is to be given the second preference, third preference, first preference, fifth, fourth, fifth, sixth, like that. Right? When we have a complex expression. When we have a complex expression. Okay, in our school days we used to learn, okay, the mathematics sir used to uh, give that information, how to evaluate that expression. What is that one rule? What rule is that? Okay, what rule? Gurtunda. Bracket of division, then multiplication, subtraction, and addition. The last one is the addition. Okay, division, multiplication, sub addition, and subtraction. Right? Okay. These are the basic things when it comes to programming: data types, operators, operator precedence. Next one, some features. Every programming language provides some features. Like, for example, only limited topics. Okay. Generally, what we think is that when it comes to programming language, learning programming language is tough, right? All are simple concepts. All are just simple concepts. What is the okay? Every programming language provides tools, a number of tools. For example, okay, when they provide tools means you must know what is the purpose of each and every tool. When that particular tool is to be used, at what time, at which place, for which type of problem, which tool must be used. That must be known. That's it. Finish. Nothing more than that. Right? Okay. Like C programming language has some features, unlimited features. Functions are there. Next level. Next level functions are there. Next, arrays, functions, arrays, structures, union, and pointer. That's it. Mostly. Only 5, 6 topics, main topics. What is the purpose of each and every feature? When to use that one? Where to use that one? By practice only, we can learn that one. We can learn, okay, when to use arrays, when to use pointer, when to use structure, okay, at which place pointer is suitable, for which type of problem so structure is suitable. Okay, that is very, very important. Nothing more than that. Right? Okay. Okay, today we'll start the second one, decision making process. Okay, it is called selection decision making process. So what do you mean by decision making process? Okay, when we write a program, C program, okay, we have so many programming instructions, right? On the first instruction, studio.h, hash include studio.h, right? Hash include studio.h, int main void, main block open, and some statements, okay, some calculations, then finally some return zero, closing bracket, right? Okay. Basically, by default, how the programming statements will be executed? Is there any order or unordered execution? Ordered execution or unordered execution? Ordered execution. That means first line will be processed, then line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5, line 6, like that. Okay, that is the basic one. Okay, when it comes to decision making is there. Okay, at a particular point of time, okay, we need to take the decision. Okay, based on, for example, Boolean values, right? In mathematics, we have Boolean values, true or false values are there. Based on the condition, the execution will take place. Okay, when it comes to condition, what we can say, true or false, the possible values are the possible values when it comes to decision making. How many possible values are there? Decision making. If I want to take a decision, how many possible values will be there? Only two. True or false or yes or no. Yes or no or true or false. Can we consider those two paths? Okay, based on the decision, okay, I need to execute the path one or I need to execute the path two, right? This is called a making decision process. Selection allows us to choose between two or more alternatives. It allows us to make the decision. That the first one is that okay, uh, a two-way decision is there, multi-way decision is there. Two-way decision, multi-way. Two-way decision means one is true path, the other one is the false path. Or many paths are there. Best example for many paths, so many choices are available, right? So many choices are available. Among these so many choices, we need to select only one or many choices. For example, when we open a software, the GUI, graphical user interface, right? What are the softwares we use mostly? All are GUI systems. GUI systems ఉంటాం కదా? What are the software we develop? What are the software we use? Whatever it may, mostly. Most of the softwares are GUI based systems only. Graphical user interface. Graphical user interface GUI system. Right? Mostly which contains menu items. Right? Menu items. File is there. Okay, file, edit, something goes. When we open a file, so many submenu items will appear. So many submenu items. That means so many options are there. Out of many, can we select more than one? Can we select more than one submenu item at the same time? No, only one menu item. Only one submenu item we can select. That means so many submenu items will be there. Out of many, just we will select only one menu item. And when we are selecting means indirectly some what we can say command, internal command. For every menu item, for every submenu item, internal command will be there. Internal command will be there. Whenever we select a particular menu item or submenu item, internally command will be executed. Right? That is the best example for multi-way selection. So many choices are there, but we need to select only one. Even though we have two alternatives or three alternatives or a number of alternatives. Finally, only one path must be selected. Only one path will be selected and that must be processed or executed. Okay. Let's note on this definition. Heading, put heading, selection, making decision. Just only the definition. Selection, making decision. Just only the definition, syntax, some example program or sample code to understand a concept. Selection allows us to choose between two or more alternatives. That is, it allows us to make decisions. In that first side heading, two-way selection. The basic decision statement in the computer is the two-way selection. Don't write all the points, just definition. Definition for every topic. Definition is very important. Definition or purpose. Definition or purpose. Try to understand the definition or try to understand the purpose. Then syntax, how to use that particular feature or concept. And one example to understand that particular concept. That is enough, first of all, the basic level. Visible, huh? Don't write all points, just one definition. Definition only. The basic decision statement of the computer is the two-way selection. A decision is described to the computer as a conditional statement that can be answered either true or false. Finish? Okay, remember one thing, when it comes to programming language, it is easy. Only limited topics will be there. How to use, when to use, that is needed.